All right, Shalom. This is the brother Nahalia from the GMS Orlando camp. I want to start off by giving all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Ba'Hashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'Hashem, Rakakodash. Double honors to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone, who are the elders of Yasha Allah, and the sincere salutation to all you Akim, who are preaching this word and believing this word in all truth and in sincerity. This is John chapter 8 and verse 32. And it reads, "And ye shall know the truth, and the truth shall make you free." All right, now I want to go into a lesson on this precept. All right, that the truth has set us free. One thing that happens when you enter this truth is the things that you value change dramatically. Your desire to be accepted, your desire to be successful according to monetary value and status. These things begin to slowly die down and go away as far as your value system. And you begin to value this knowledge, wisdom, and understanding, and to please Yahweh Shai Shai and to do the work. Those things become what you value. As that changes, you're set free from the restraints of society. Most of our people, the whole world, if you want to add them into it as well, are caught up in this race to be better than everyone else financially, according to popularity. All right. In this world, concerning our people, they care too much about what other people think. They don't want to be different, even if they feel different. The scriptures say not to follow a multitude to go to do evil. All right. And it also talks about the straight gate. Few be that find it. And what we have found through the spirit and power of Yahweh Shai Shai is the straight gate. And while we do have our tribulations, all right, we're a spectacle unto the world. You know, people look at us and they assume that we are crazy, all right, insane, unintelligent. But we are free from their expectations. Even our family members, we're free from their expectations. Once we know and understand this truth and what the Lord is actually pleased with, we are free from all of the extra baggage that we used to carry in the world, man. And this lesson is inspired through the spirit by an interaction I had with three guys that I used to work with. And I used to work at a hotel, like a 4 or 5 star hotel. You know, and when I came into the truth, I had to go, I worked that job. So it was about 4 or 5 years at that job. And these three individuals, one of them is Northern Kingdom. You know, one of them I believe is a Israelite foreigner, and the other one is what I believe to be an Edomite, and I could be wrong. But they saw me, and they saw us preaching, right? And I was happy through the Spirit. And the reason that I was happy is because I realized that the Lord has delivered me from that job and the desire to care about what people think. And that's something that happens when you come into this truth. These are guys who watched me excel at a job, you know, without knowing what I believed in. They would hear certain things that I say. They knew I didn't eat certain foods. They knew I had a unique opinion. As they put it, they said that I was a wise individual, but really it's the truth. But when they saw it, you know, they saw, and it looked strange to them, but they had to admire the fact that I was free. I'm free from these expectations. And we're all free from the expectations of the world, man. That's why it always stick with me when Apostle Tahar said, you gotta, to a certain degree, you gotta be an asshole, man. Excuse my French. What does that mean? That means you can't really hold on to, the truth won't allow you to hold on to the expectations of others concerning the people of the world. You stopped running that race a long time ago. All right, this is Matthew 7 and 13. Enter ye in at the straight gate, for wide is the gate and broad is the way that leadeth to destruction, and many there be which go in thereat. Because straight is the gate and narrow is the way which leadeth unto life, and few there be that find it. And we found that straight gate. And through the spirit and power of Yahweh Shai Shai, we are free from the expectations of this world. We are comforted by understanding where all of this is leading up to. And that's why through the Spirit, we were talking about this on the highways and hedges. You know, the things that the Lord told us that are the fearful things, the dead bodies from one end of the earth to the other. You know, the people dying of famine. All right. These things is for the Lord gave these things to us to forewarn us. Because those who truly turn back to Yahweh Shema Shai in all truth and in sincerity, those plagues aren't meant for us. And we're comforted with that truth. As much as you allow that truth to comfort you. And that goes back into faith. If you believe that your labor is not in vain and your sacrifice is not in vain, then that faith is going to be shown on you. Yeah, these are scary times that we're coming into. But the Lord wouldn't warn us just to destroy us at the same time. Lord willing, we're part of that number. And that makes us free. We can go through this world still doing the best that we can through the Spirit. But we can go through this world understanding that this is temporary. Scriptures say, be as pilgrims on the earth. Outside of this truth, everything else is worthless. And we have the freedom of understanding that. You know, Paul called us the Most High's Hamashiach's Freeman, I believe, roughly paraphrasing. We are free from those restraints and those bondages. That's why scriptures talk about being content with what you have, roughly paraphrasing. Because we don't have to keep up with the Joneses no more. That whole ambition that we grew up with as Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, where you just wanted to compete with the next person, your car shinier than his car. We're free from those bondages. We still do the best that we can while we're in this world and take care of our responsibilities to the best of our ability. But we're free from the expectation of the society that we live in, man. Most of our people feel like failures. When you think about it, that's why you have this culture of competition, of I want to smash your old lady, of all of these different things, is because a lot of our people are chasing success, and this is not success. For an Israelite to be successful is to be amongst great men, and most importantly, all right, amongst like-minded men and women, all right, whether it's through the YouTube or physically, but first and foremost, to know and understand Yahweh Shema Shai. That is a degree of success. And when I say be amongst like-minded spirits, that means to be a part of that ministry, whether you're a believer or a laborer, whatever the Lord has given you as a measure. On this side of life, that is the highest honor that you can have as an Israelite. There is no higher office than to be a part of this ministry as an Israelite. And we're free from everything else. All the other bondages that we were under in the world, we're free from those things. To the best of our ability, we rehearse the righteous acts. The Lord doesn't give us too much in this world that we get lost in it. And he doesn't give us too little where we struggle too much to worry about him. We are free from the restraints of this world. And that interaction with those guys reminded me of this. That we're free from these things through the Spirit and power of Yahweh Shema Shai. The scriptures talk about us being hindered from sin through want or lack. And part of that is the lack of the need to keep up with the Joneses. The lack of the need to be socially accepted in this world. And that's why being on the highways and hedges is so important. Because it reinforces that confidence of being able to stand in great boldness for Yahweh Shema Shai in the face of all of the other nations, our own people, to be ridiculed for what you believe in. And as you get ridiculed, you get used to it. And once you get used to it, you no longer have the desire to please or impress anybody that isn't a part of what we are a part of through the Spirit, man. You learn, and that's important as Israelite men. Being willing to stand for what you believe in the face of all adversity. And that's why we say through the Spirit, this is the highest office that you can have as an Israelite man on the planet. It's not shooting a basketball for 70,000 people. It's not rapping and going triple platinum for talking about destroying your people. This is truly the most honorable thing you can do as an Israelite on this side of life, man. And it may not seem like that to the tangible carnal eye, but it is. And we're set free from the rat race of this world. We're in this world. We still handle our business, but to the best of our, we handle our business to the best of our ability, but we're free from the restraints of this world, man. So people can see us. They can see what we think, what we believe through the spirit and power of Yahweh Shem Yahushai, and they can take it or leave it. And we're cool with either. And this truth, through this experience, you get used to the fact that most people not going to agree with you. And you just make peace with it. That has effects in your life outside of the ministry, man. And I realized that when those individuals that I used to work with came up to us. Because I always had a different opinion from them at the job, but I was moving wise as a serpent and harmless as a dove, and they saw me on the highways and hedges even while I was working there, but they didn't know, what it was exactly, but they kind of figured out that it had to be Hebrew Israelites because they caught me writing Hebrew one time. I was just chilling there on my own, on my lonely, trying to, remember the paleo script, and they rolled up on me unawares. And they saw me and I told them I was trying to, sharpen my Hebrew skills. And through the spirit and power of Yahweh Shem Yahushai, we are free from those restraints, man. The expectations of the world, we're free from it. And we grow stronger and bolder as time goes by, man. We get stronger. And why? Because the truth has set us free, man. We're more free than a lot of our people who are so-called successful, man. Because we're willing to lose a job. We're willing to lose a place of business. We're willing to lose our homes, whatever it takes, Lord willing. And as we continue to abound in this truth, we become freer and freer from the restraints of this world, man. That's why scripture say to be carnally minded is death. We had a guy a long time ago told us that he wasn't willing to, he understood that what we were saying was true. But he said he didn't have enough faith to be out there on the highways and hedges because he was afraid that he'd lose his job or his boss would see him. And really, in essence, that's to be carnally minded, because you care more about your social status than you care about what's most important. And we're free from these bondages. Understand that these are bondages. These are fetters that a lot of our people are under. As a matter of fact, I mentioned that precept, Lord willing, I can get it. And Lord willing, this makes sense through the spirit, because more and more every day through the spirit and power of Yahweh Shem Yahushai, as I reflect on my own personal journey, you understand how much the Lord has allowed you to grow. You may not see it when you look at your life in a span of the past 2 months, but when you look at multiple years, you get to see how the chastening of the Lord has allowed you to grow in the fruits of the Spirit. All right. And that's just something that I'm able to gather through the Spirit based on my own journey. And if that's true for me, then it has to be true for other Akim and the Akwath, who the Lord is taking on this journey to grow. Brothers say this all the time off camera, too. We read the records, and it's not just about Daniel's account. It's not just about Paul's account. It's not just about Peter's account. The Lord called us into the straight gate for you to have your own personal testimony of his goodness, of how the chastening of his pleasure works for your benefit and your profit, where it matters. Not in a gold chain, not in a big house, but where it matters. And that's your ability to be abound, to abase or be abound. That is where we are, it's hard to explain through the Spirit. Let me just get this. This is 1 Corinthians 7:22. For he that is called in the Lord, being a servant, is the Lord's freeman. Likewise, also, he that is called, being free, is Hamashiach's servant. And we're free to serve Hamashiach unapologetically, man. We get to go on the highways and hedges and speak through the spirit and power of Yahweh Shem Yahushai, the words of the Lord, even though it offends the majority of the planet. And we get to speak it because we're the Lord's freemen. We're free to do this work. We're free from the bondage of this world and this society. Because really, it's all a construct Esau made up amongst our people. You got to have a big house. You got to get your mama a big house. And if you can do that, that's a good thing. But our priority in this life, especially you Negro, Latino, and Native American men, your priority, your highest calling is to serve Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushua in your respective measure. That is your highest calling. Everything else falls under that. And you gain more on this side than you do on the other side, which is the world. When you think about it from the wisdom standpoint, you may have gained all the possessions that you wanted, but there's always going to be something missing, because this is your purpose. Even the ones of our people that are in the world that find these things that they love to do. They might like music. They might like a certain sport. That may be one of your talents. But your purpose is to serve Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushua, man. King David was multi-talented. But what was his greatest gift? His greatest purpose was to serve the Lord, man. And we're free to do that now. That's why it says you can't serve the Most High and Mammon. You can't have both. Because one leads you down one path and the other leads you down the opposite path. And you can't be in two places at once. The broad gate is the gate that serves Mammon. And the straight gate is the gate that serves Hamashiach, where you sow to the spirit. Whereas the broad gate, you sow to the flesh. And you may get possessions, but you'll never truly be fulfilled. We are fulfilled whether we understand it or not. And being fulfilled and free doesn't mean that you have beautiful times at all times. You're going to suffer one way or the other. Those people who are rich, they're not always in a good mood. They don't always have good days. Likewise, us in this truth, we won't always have a good day. We won't always wake up and go through this life that we have while we're waiting on Hamashiach and be in this happy-go-lucky mood. But the benefits that we receive from Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushua far outweigh the benefits that Jake may receive in the world, man. Because we are free. We are free from all of these restraints. And what those guys notice, whether they could call it the way I'm calling it through the Spirit, is that we are free. I don't have to hide how I feel about the world through the Spirit and power of Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushua. And when you make this truth your priority, the Lord provides for you. In a lot of cases, better than the people in the world. All right, so Lord willing, this was edifying. Salakia for so many words, but this is just an exhortation, if you will. Based on the experience that I had through the Spirit, man. It was a beautiful experience through the Lord, man. That we actually are free, man. We're free from this world, man. We're in it, but we're not of it. The same things people value, the same things people are willing to do things that are morally wrong, willing to sacrifice all manners of things that are truly important to have carnal wealth and success and status in this world. We're free from that bondage. That's a bondage. And that's why most of our people who get it die miserable and most times broke. Because now they're just a rich prisoner, but they're still a prisoner. We're free. We're Hamashiach's servants. As a matter of fact, it reminds me of this too. I wanted to make this short, but it's the Spirit, man. Matthew 11:29. Take my yoke upon you. Man, I got to start at 28, Salakia. Come unto me, all ye that labor and are heavy laden, and I will give you rest, man. We have peace of mind. We have rest. And it's a rest that can't even really be explained. It can't really be articulated. But we have a rest that's different from the rest of this world, man. And that's because we have the yoke of Hamashiach. And that burden is lighter than the burden of the world. That's why it says that you shall know the truth and the truth shall make you free. All right. Verse 29, take my yoke upon you and learn of me. For I am meek and lowly in heart, and ye shall find rest unto your souls. For my yoke is easy and my burden is light. Now, that doesn't mean that it's all good times. But what it means is that this journey that we're on is more valuable than the journey that we desired in the world. And we're free from that competition. We're free from those unrealistic goals. And the reason I say it's unrealistic, because all of these things shall melt with fervent heat. You know, our people have this goal of generating generational wealth in the midst of World War III brewing and famines and the mark of the beast and all of these different things. And our people have these ambitions that depend on this world staying the same. And the Lord has comforted us by letting us know that it won't stay the same. And that's why we are free from those bondages. All right, so Lord willing, this was edifying. With that, I want to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, by Hashem, Yahweh Shai, by Hashem, Rakakudash. Double honors to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone, who are the elders of Yasha Allah. And a sincere salutation to all you Akim who are preaching this word and believing this word. And to the Akwath who are believing this word in all truth and in sincerity. Shalom.